Okay, good morning. So this is so that I can post this as a YouTube, but you should be on Zoom. So that will be able, so you can be able to answer or ask questions. So today we are graphing exponential functions. So remember, an exponential function, we have to have our f of x, which just means y, and we have a to the power of x, right? So this means it's exponential. And so our graphs are going to look like a curve. So remember, x is always at the exponent. And for linear, we would have like 2x, right? And for exponential, we could have something that looks like 2 to the power of x. And so that's our difference. So we're going to do some graphs today, and then you can hopefully ask questions on Zoom. So my first example that I'm going to give you is I have f of x equals negative 3 times 5 to the power of x. And I'm going to do a little graph here, our coordinate plane. And so remember what we're going to do. We're going to do a t-chart. We're going to do our x and our y. We're going to choose 0, 1, and negative 1 just because it'll be easier. And our y equals this right here, because remember, f of x, it means just y. It's a function of x. So we have a negative 3, 5x. And so we're going to replace this 0 right here with this x. So we're going to say y equals negative 3, 5 to the power of 0. And so remember, that means negative 3 times 5 to the power of 0. So 5 to the power of 0 is 1. And so y equals negative 3. And so we're going to plug that in, and we're going to plot that point at 0, negative 3. And now we're going to do when x is 1. And so we're going to do y equals negative 3 times 5 to 1. And so that just means y equals negative 3 times 5 to the power of 1, which is negative 3 times 5, which is negative 15. So I'm going to go 1, and I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's down here, right? It's off my graph, which that's okay. And now I'm going to do when it's negative 1. So y equals negative 3 times 5 to the power of negative 1. So remember, we have negative 3 times 5 to negative 1. And so that negative 1 means that I have to flip. And so then we get y equals negative 3/5, right? Or negative 3/5 is negative 0.6. So you understand where that's coming from. So it goes negative 1, and it's around here. Now remember, I said the point that is closest to the x-axis is where it flattens out, and then it curves down, and it never crosses the x-axis. Okay, let's look at another one. So we have f of x equals 4 times 0.6 to the power of x. We're going to graph this. Get my coordinate plane here. And remember, we're going to do a t-chart, x, y. We're going to say 0, 1, and negative 1. We're going to replace this x, right? So y equals 4. Sorry, don't need that y again. 4 times 0.6 to the power of x. So we're going to say y equals 4 times 0.6 to the power of 0. So y equals 4 times 0.6 to the power of 0. So remember this, anything to the power of 0 is 1, so it's 4 times 1. So y equals 4. So 0, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll plot that point. And now we're going to do when x is 1. So we have y equals 4 times 0.6 to the power of 1. So we have y equals 4 times 0.6 to the power of 1. So 4 times 0.6 is 2.4. And again, I'm rounding some of these. So we go over 1 and we go up 1, 2, and we go just a little bit above 2. That's fine. It's in the middle. Okay, we're estimating about where this point is going to be because it's not exact. And then we're going to do negative 1. So y equals 4 times 0.6 to negative 1. So remember that's 4 times 0.6 to negative 1. And so that negative 1 means that now that 0.6 goes in the denominator, right? And so when we multiply 4 over 1 times 1 over 0.6, we multiply straight across and we get 4 over 0.6, which then we get is 6.7. Okay, so then we have 6.7 here. So we go negative 1 and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a little bit above that. I'll erase those so you can't, that won't be confusing. This point is the one that is closest to the x-axis, so that's where it's going to start to drop and go down towards the x-axis. But remember, it's not going to cross, okay? Okay, let's look at another one. So we have our f of x equals 9/8 times 7 to the power of x. And we'll do our little t-chart. And our lines and our coordinate plane. This is called a coordinate plane, okay? And then our t-chart, we'll go over here, 0, 1, and negative 1. We just choose those points, and we're saying when y is 9/8, and then we're replacing our x with that 0, right? So y equals 9/8 times 7 to the power of 0. That means multiplication. And so then remember 9/8, 7 to the power of 0 is 1. So it's 9/8, right? And 9/8, you could put that into your calculator if you want to kind of figure out where that is at, and it's at 1.1. So we're going to go just a little bit above 1, okay? Now I'm going to replace x with 1. So we have y equals 9/8 times 7 to the power of 1. So it's 9/8 times 7, which if I multiply straight across and I make this a fraction, right? We have 9 times 7, which is 63. And I don't know why I wrote 68, sorry. 63, probably because when I looked at the 8. And then 8 times 1, which is 8. And so if you take 63 divided by 8, if you want to change that to a decimal, just so you know where that's at about. So it's 63 over 8, or it's about 7.9. So I'm going to go 1, and I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about here, right? And I'll erase these little guys right here. So we kind of have an idea where this is at. And then I'm going to look at when it's negative 1. So y equals 9/8 times 7 to negative 1. And then remember that means this negative 1, this 7 to negative 1, I have to flip that, right? And so then if I multiply straight across, I get 9 over 56. Or we can estimate about 0.16, so negative 1, and it's going to be really close to the x-axis, right? Again, so this point is closest to the x-axis, so it's where it's going to flatten out close to the x-axis, and it's going to go up. Okay, let's look at one last one. So we have f of x equals 1/2 times 0.7 to the power of x. I'm going to x, y, and here, and I'm going to do my t-chart, 0, 1, and negative 1. Y equals 1/2 times 0.75, and we're just going to replace that x again. We're going to keep doing that same thing over, and so it becomes 0. So it's 1/2 times 0.75 to the power of 0, which becomes 1. That should be equals to 1/2 times 1, so y equals 1/2. Or 0.5, right? So 0.5. It's going to be really close to that x-axis. So y equals, we're going to replace it with 1. 1/2 0.75 to the power of 1. So times 0.75, right? And we get y equals 0.375. So we have it at 1 and it's at 0.375. So it's really close to that x-axis. It's below 0.5, right? It's less than 0.5. So this point here on the y-axis is actually higher than the other one. I know they look, because my graph is kind of squished, they look like they are closer together, but I mean they are, but the 0.5 is higher, okay? Now let's look at when it's -1. So we have 1/2 times 0.75 to -1. So it's 0.75 to -1. So remember that becomes a fraction. And if you multiply straight across, you get this to be 0.67. 0.67. And so that is above, so -1, and it's not quite at 1, but we kind of get this idea. This is the closest point to the x-axis, and then it grows to the other side. All right, so what you're going to notice is this value tells me that it will look like a decay, and what you would notice on your other graphs is because it's greater than 1, it is a growth.